Welcome to Soundcheck with Pastor Isaac. I'm back again this week with my friend David, and he's going to continue to talk about some of the things that we were talking about last week. So if you missed last week's episode, binge watch it, and then come back and look at this one, and you will enjoy that. So I want you to greet the people again, David.
Hey, you guys. Good to see you. Make sure you like and subscribe because this is good for you.
Oh, yeah. And share it with somebody, because if you don't need it, somebody else in your family or coworker, neighbor, friend, somebody needs it.
No doubt.
And I love what he was talking about, how he got saved. I got saved on a college setting. He got saved in the high school setting. And as a high school band director, talk about some of those young people that you have trained. In fact, I've met some of them, played with some of them.
Oh my goodness.
All types of musicians have come out of his tutelage. I like to use that word.
It's an amazing thing. I think that's one of the most rewarding things about teaching.
Okay.
Somebody said one time at a professional development, it said, teachers, he said, we don't do it for the income, we do it for the outcome.
Okay.
And it's amazing to see what comes out when you just do what you love to do, share and help nurture these young musicians, right, so they can grow up and be mature musicians. And that's what they do. They grow up. I mean, you're not going to teach a class and then everybody in the class becomes a music major and goes off to school. That doesn't happen. But you get one or two, three or four, and then as that multiplies over the years, right. In terms of a lot of folks, I got just about every instrument that I've taught. I have a student that does it professionally.
Okay, yeah.
It's amazing because I had a student one time to play the saxophone, and he was really tired of the music. He knew he could just catch on to all these things and these concepts, but he didn't play the saxophone the greatest. Okay. And one day I switched him to electric bass because he wanted. Sam asked, he wanted electric bass. I said, well, I'll teach you that. Right. And now to think, and next thing I know, he was off and running, and he plays professionally now. Okay. Has his own group. I've got pianists.
Oh yeah, I've met some of them. Yeah. Guitarists as well. The drummer. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Yeah. And so it's amazing that you get an opportunity to do that. And I mean, and it's biblical because, right. The Bible says, every fruit, multiplies, it multiplies itself. Right. Right. So, you can't get apples from an orange tree. Right. You got to get apples from an apple tree. So right. It's just a law. And that's what we should be doing as believers.
I want to bounce off of that real fast. Okay. Now, David's talking about a musical side of things, but it's not just for musicians. You may not play an instrument or be able to teach an instrument, but whatever that gifting that God has you to do, you may have the gift of gab. You may be able to help somebody to be a journalist. That's right. Or, there's all types of giftings and skills God has put in you. Pour that into a child, pour that into a young person, and watch how God blossoms that thing.
I'm telling you, it's amazing to watch. It's really rewarding. It really is. So I just to see them, and and then every now and then they'll come by, and it's even amazing now. I'm finding that even kids, they're not going to school, they're not majoring in music. Okay. They're going off to college and they're coming back and they're like Major Corey, because that's what I am at Franklin. Okay. I'm honorary major, but they say, Major Corey, that stuff you taught me, that's those things, that thing you said one time in class, and then when they come back, and I'm like, I love when they come back as adults. Then I'm like, see, when you were in high school, I couldn't say certain things to you. Right. But now that you're an adult, right. I can really say some things. So, I kind of talk about my college experience and how they should, how they should deal with certain situations and circumstances, right. And just all kinds of things. And we just continue to, I just continue to love them, and they continue to grow, and they make me proud. It's funny because not it worked not only with my children,
Right.
but now I see it at work in other folks' children that I have an opportunity to mentor and love as they come through.
Right.
You come through school.
And see, you're growing a community as you're doing that. You're letting your light shine so people can see God in you, and they want that.
Yes.
You know, they may not know it then, but it plants that seed that grows. As you say, they've come back years later.
Yes.
And talk about that.
It's an amazing thing. It really is. It really is. And I'm really, and it's really good to know that this is what God wants you to do.
Right.
And you there's so much. It's a niche, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much freedom in it.
Right.
And you get up in the morning excited about what's going to happen today. Well, what's going to happen today, right? And it's just an amazing thing. So I'm glad the Lord planted me where I am, and I'm even my family, everywhere we've ever lived. Once we joined the church, we pretty much stayed there till we moved. Right. and so I just grow wherever I'm planted, and then I drop off my little seeds, and they come on up, and I'm like, come on, Sharon, come on, and then it's the best part. It really is. It's the best part of teaching is when you come back and you can get to see them, or when all the new music teachers introduce themselves at the beginning of the school year, and I said, oh yeah, I taught him. Oh yeah, I taught her. And they be like, Corey, did you teach them too? And I said, actually, I did. So it's pretty awesome. So you just do what God told you to do, and you just keep doing it, and you just let Him use you in whatever because it's different every day. You don't know what you're gonna face when you get up in the morning.
Right. That's why you have to be led by the Holy
Spirit.
Spirit.
Yeah, and you don't know, so you just my job is not to judge. My job is to love.
Okay.
Right. And that's actually biblical.
Right.
And that's what I do. And it just. You just see the fruit of it if you keep doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, when you plant a seed, it doesn't grow right away.
Right.
Matter of fact, I just threw some seeds down today. I was like, it's going to rain this afternoon.
Coming.
And so I'm excited about that because they're going to get watered. And then, eventually it's going to grow in a couple of weeks. I'll start to see them, and I'll be so excited. And then my family laughs at me because I'm so, my grass. That's another testimony. We don't talk about that.
Pastor Gary always talks about his grass too.
right. But it's just an amazing thing to watch, and you have to understand that you don't know when it's working until it works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some of the most difficult kids I've taught, and just loved on them, and it makes a difference.
Right.
And you don't see it right away, and then they get older. And one thing I love about teaching at Franklin is I get them from 6th grade to 12th grade. I get to see them as a child and then as an adult.
Right.
I mean, and it's just the maturity and watch them grow. And I tell them how I seen them grow from this, how they used to do this. I'm like, yeah, you know what? And some things they don't even realize.
Right.
Oh yeah, I did that. Yeah, you did that. And so it's an amazing thing, man. I'm really pleased about it, and I've been doing it almost long enough to retire, but I'm not even thinking about retirement.
Right.
Now see, we need so many more men of God that not just in school systems, but everywhere else that have an opportunity to touch the lives of young people.
Yes.
Because without that, they don't have that mentorship. A lot of them don't have a dad or someone at home that's there, for them to look up to. And these young people see you. In fact, you brought some of them here with their moms, and they follow you because you're here, and they want to see what you're doing. What do you do on the weekends when we don't see you?
Yeah, amazing when they see me and they come in here like, oh. Because it's no matter. It's funny because sometimes I see kids that because they are friends with some of the kids at church, and they come because they're and then they see me like, oh, that's my teacher. They're expecting to see me, and they see me playing and worshiping, and they're like, wow, yeah, this is amazing. So
yeah, if you come to the church, you'll usually see David on bass, on keys. If you're really lucky, on one day you might see him on trumpet or euphonium, which is your main instrument.
That's my major instrument, sure is. And so it's. I mean, I can't say enough about how it's just been an amazing experience watching God move through all of that.
Right.
and all the little stories that come up and the little things and just how you get to mentor and love and just see how it blossoms. I'm tickled pink.
Let me ask you this. Now, outside of doing the teaching thing, and you know, some people don't play an instrument, some people don't sing, some people don't dance, all those things. How do you prepare yourself as a worshiper knowing that you are the musician? And how would you, this is a two-part question, how would you ask the people to come in and prepare themselves that aren't necessarily a musician to come before the Lord? What's the important things there?
You know the most important, what I've learned, and it kind of ties to music, because and I'm sure you've noticed, when we come together as a corporate body, our worship is multiplied. So how do we make it better? It's just like being in the band. I have to, them kids, I tell them, okay, you got to go home and practice what you learned, and then come bring it back, and then we can develop it some more. And that's when it comes to worship, it's the same thing. You got to practice at home. You got to go before the Lord by yourself, and it makes it so much more special when we come together as a group. And we fill the sanctuary with all these people that have practiced at home, and as it just grows exponentially. Right? Because one can put 1,000, two can put 10,000, and if we all are working at it individually, it just makes it more powerful when we come together as a collective.
One thing that I love is David and I play a lot together, in particular on like the Selahs, the time where it's just time to worship. We don't even have to make any eye contact. It just flows. And your wife noticed that one time. I hadn't even thought about it, but she said, when you all play together, I just love it, you know, and the song will just end right on the right spot and everything. We don't even sit there and practice that. It just flows.
It just flows. It's because we're all connected to the same Holy Spirit. And it makes a difference. You have to be attentive to it and listen to it and obedient to it. Because it speaks to us all the time. Sometimes we just got so much going on. We got earbuds in our ears or whatever we're doing, and we don't hear it. But he speaks to us all the time. And in the worship times, I really, that's my favorite part. I love the Selahs, because that's when, I can that's when I can worship. Because it's all worship, but I'm trying to make sure I'm attentive to the praise leader to go where they go, because I'm accompaniment. I'm not. They're not following me. I'm following them. And so I'm attentive to that. But when the Selahs, that's when I can close my eyes, and that's how I can just let go and let the Lord use me however He wants to. And it's just an amazing thing. We do it well together. We do. I call us the dynamic duo. So, but yeah, we make it happen, and it's. I love that. I crave it. I'm like, we get to do that.
Yeah, when we had the pandemic going on at its tops, and we hadn't been together in months and months, probably a year almost, where we had in-person service, I texted you one day and said, man, I sure do miss you, man. I miss that. Then I think I actually called you, I woke you up one day. I said, David, where you sleep? Yeah, sorry, man.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm good. I say, my friends can call me anytime, and I tell you, it's funny. I'm gonna go back to school for a second. I tell my parents that I'm like, I give my kids. I used to not do that, but now I give my kids my cell number. I give their parents to them, and I'm like, I tell them, well, my children are all grown now. Just work as a team together. Because it really, it really does take a village. It really does take a village. And so we all working together, we're all on the same team. One of the things I tell my parents is, when they get older, is when you need to be more involved, not less.
Exactly. I agree with that. As a father that has 4 young men that are already grown, it's true. And we're out of time again.
What?
But we're going to come back. One more segment next week.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Hold on for a second.